Up and running. Okay, nothing exploded. Woo! So today's session is going to have a little bit of an odd energy. We are missing our players for Mocha and Scoria, so they will be temporarily under my control and being silent because I am not going to even attempt to replicate their voices. Anyway, so where we left off last time, things got a little bit awkward. That being that the party found out that there was an Alberich spying on them. Whatever had summoned it had done a very poor job of summoning it, as it had been brought to the material plane blind. And so that was roughly what came to the end of the session.
Did I do
And
any
the
damage
collection-
to it when I smacked it into the floor?
No,
Aww. Just got a dented face.
sure. But the interesting thing that was found out at the end of the session was as the librarian in the Mage Tower Library had deciphered parts of Helga's book. You know that Helga's soul would have been sent to the Circle of Gluttony. Was it Gluttony? No, it was Sloth, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Sloth. Sorry, I'm reminding myself of what I had last time. So you are aware that she was told her soul would be sent to the Circle of Sloth. And the parts of the blank pages at the back of Helga's personal diary had been deciphered, and the text had been magically revealed on those back pages, revealing that Helga knew where you came from and had potential leads on who your parents may or may not be. Which is kind of bringing her into question. So we resume from where we left off. Wait, no, because we had ended off with you guys having a look at what was going on. Yeah, so we'll just, for the sake of saying fuck it, it'll be like midway through the day on the 14th of December, 67 AR, where you are having a look through all of this information and preparing yourselves for the potential venture ahead. So the three of you plus Mason and Xavier are currently sat in the inn, trying to figure out what to do.
Well, what do we do?
How far is Orcus?
I'm presuming that you guys have probably picked up a map at some point.
I hope so.
I would assume so. If
Please, may
not,
one of us have intelligence.
If not, then I will just say you have, for the sake of making my life easier.
There'll be a map somewhere.
Yeah. We'll say there's like a map of the island on the at the help desk that you've just been given a copy of, for the sake of I genuinely cannot remember exactly how I left off because I didn't listen back to the last few minutes of the pod like I normally do. So you gather that traveling from Lenfar directly to Orcus, if you were to follow the coast, would take you a couple of days, roughly.
Do we have rations for a couple of days?
I don't know. Check your inventories. You tell me.
Rations for 15. Well, I have that rations for 15 days.
I have rations for 12.
Did you add the rations that you were given during the last session? I presume the answer is
I have
Probably
rations for
not.
15 days.
Okay, so Marcel didn't add them to his sheet.
So I've only got 15.
Yes.
Okay.
To nobody's
Billy
surprise.
Marcel.
To nobody's surprise.
Who else but Marcel?
So, you estimate... Yeah, Florian, you roughly estimate that it'll take you about 2 days if you're following the coast and you set out on a good pace. Maybe see if you can get some additional transport or something along that line.
Do we not still have Oh no, we
You do
wouldn't-
not have the cart anymore, as that is still on the island of Varnexian.
the cart. That's tragic.
I guess we could get a new one.
Mason
How
turns
much do carts cost?
carts. Mason looks at you both like you're both speaking another language.
Mason, how much are carts?
Do you realize how expensive those things are?
No, that's why we're asking.
I mean, if I had the wood, I would build one.
Well,
It's a pretty simple design.
let's just say if we wanted a proper quality, like cart, it without the canopy on it, it'd be 22 gil as a minimum, not counting whatever commission charges they're going to take from us for labor. Or it's 150 gil at base for a carriage, like we kind of had before.
How much would it cost if we made it ourselves?
Xavier puts a very firm palm to your back, as though
I have built all sorts of things. I've built doors, catapults.
I don't know if it would last very long if we built our own
I
cart.
have to agree with Florian here. Perhaps maybe it would be a better idea to find a different route.
Looks at craft proficiency.
We
Sorry,
can
craft,
follow the coast.
Do you have, just to entertain your idea for a second here, Marcel,
Mhm.
do you have the materials necessary to make a cart?
No, but the materials to make a cart are a lot cheaper than the labor cost to get a cart. Or the price of a cart.
You want to bet?
It should be. That's how business works.
Big business.
Generally, it's
You need
cheaper
the right
to acquire
connections
the
to
materials
buy
to make
loads of
something
wood
than
and
it is to...
salt.
So
Right,
let me describe to you the idea of a 20-year-old Bemisian, which is basically the equivalent of like.
You should just not give me the resources. So
Probably not, because they would assume that you are pulling their leg. Nobody in their right mind would manually go out of their way to build a car.
Weirdo.
Why is that weird?
And to the
Someone's got to build one.
to the citizens of Lenthar, that would be very strange for you to do, as there are many merchants that would be more than willing to custom build you a cart, should you require one.
But I'm getting
Could
incredibly
we ask the guild?
disdainful looks at the idea of buying one because it costs so much.
You also have legs.
Okay.
What about the
we'll
guild?
walk.
The guild.
You
Yeah,
are.
I think we'll
The
have to
guild.
walk or get maybe chocobos. Wait,
Oh, I
Elf,
don't know
elf,
if a
elf.
chocobo can hold me.
communal mount yet. Probably
I'm a
not,
bit
no.
big for a
That's
chocobo.
Maybe at some point I'll have communal mount.
What if we
To-
asked the guild?
Hugmug, roll me a history check.
Hehehe. Oh yeah. Right, history. 16.
16. You are aware
Yes.
that from this point onwards, the guild will not help you. They have given you
Oh.
all of the information and supplies necessary as Scoria and Mocha enter the room with a couple of sets of mage robes for yourself and Florian, some leather armor for themselves and Marcel, and a set of hide armor for Mason before they go off into the other room to prepare to basically start gathering everybody's shit together. But you're aware that the guild will not be allowed to help you from this point onwards.
I know there's airships, but is there the, I guess, medieval equivalent of taxis?
You could get what is essentially a coach.
Yes, that's
Of
what
sorts.
I know.
but that would charge you a small amount of gil to get there. So distance between, we'll say it will cost you about 200 gil a person to get what is essentially the equivalent of a taxi from where you are to Orcus. That would take a couple of days to get there.
And by foot, it would take.
And by foot, it would take about 2 or 3 days if you follow the coast and get quite fortunate with the weather. It's a more realistic estimate to say about 4 or 5. But Lucas has to remember that he has to specify between what's 2 days worth of travel, meaning 48 hours of trudging it on foot, which is more like 5 days. Because I have to do math. Haha. It is that, or you can see if there is some other means of getting there. However, your options are quite limited.
What do we do?
I think we walk.
I suppose so.
Yeah,
Who wants to build a cart?
it seems like that might be the best idea.
Building a cart
It would probably
home.
take much
Hmm.
longer to build a cart than it would to walk.
And Mason comes over to you, Marcel, and very gently pats you on the shoulder. It's alright. I'm sure you make a great cart.
It
Just-
would make a great cart.
We ain't really got the time for it.
You guys can ride the cart in the bedroom.
And what exactly do you mean by that, Hugmug?
Yeehaw.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke of me because I'm a cow and I'm a guy? Honestly,
No.
poor taste. And he tuts at you
Oh,
before him
I
and
thought it
Xavier.
was funny.
Him and Xavier leave the room to go and basically prepare to leave the inn. Basically, prepare for you guys to leave the inn, and give you a little while to gather your stuff together. And as you are preparing to basically gather your stuff together and head out, he does. Florian,
Yeah.
can you roll me? Check this.
Maybe.
You roll me a religion check.
Interesting. Where is my social religion? Oh. 13.
13. You feel a slight nagging sensation that you may want to prepare for potentially stormy weather.
Okay. Do I know how to prepare for stormy weather?
Essentially, you would want to roll me a survival check. That's what you'd want to do.
Okay, cool.
To see if you have the
grab my
knowledge.
dice. And if not, I'll just ask. Okay. Ooh, what is my survival? It is wisdom based, so
Yeah.
should be fine. Oh, right, I don't have good wisdom.
I also
17. 17, it's fine.
17. You're aware that you're probably going to want to get some heavy thermal blankets to basically pin around the inside of the tent.
And for walking, maybe some ponchos.
Doesn't necessarily seem like ponchos would be
Stormy.
yes.
No rain.
I also have
It's-
a fun thing called communal endure elements, which might help people if we're dying from
Yeah,
the elements.
so communal endure elements would mean things such as, so say you use it on yourself, during an intense blizzard, you wouldn't take damage from, like, if you hit freezing point, but you will still be susceptible.
Exactly.
You will still be susceptible to potential unconsciousness if you get that cold. It protects you from the damage or environmental hazards based on the environment around you, like, so extreme heat and extreme cold. It will not prevent you from basically passing out. So
But it will keep you alive for a little bit longer.
Very true. Yeah, Florian, you get the intrinsic understanding that you're going to need some sort of intensive thermal, like either intensive thermal blanket or something to reinforce the tent with.
Guys, I think we should prepare for bad weather and get some nice blankets, really warm thermal blankets. And things like
Sounds
that.
like a good plan.
So will the three of
Nice
you
fluffy blankets.
be going out to acquire said blanket?
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you head out into
Just us three?
the town.
Just us three?
Yes. Mason and Xavier are currently organizing things with the innkeeper to conclude your stay.
Marcel will go to the rest of the group and let them know where we are going
Okay.
before we leave.
And it is
Guessing
acknowledged.
we're off to find a cloth yet.
Yes, you are. Let's see if there is any immediately to mind before I have to go dig through. So can the three of you roll me an investigation check, please, as you are searching throughout the town?
I can certainly try. Where did I put my ferret? Investigation.
Unnatural 20.
14. It's okay, only one of us needs to roll well.
Unnatural
It's okay, I've
20,
done it for you guys.
14, and Marcel? 6.
That's a 1.
Oh dear. So, Marcel, you have no idea what you're looking for. Cloth and working with cloth, period, has never been your thing. It has always been Florian's thing.
My thing is woodworking.
The closest you've ever been allowed to a needle and thread was when Helga was trying to help you figure out what your personal talent is.
I
What do you
imagine
enjoy?
Marcel does a lot of woodworking and metalworking. Never textile stuff.
No. So, that's where I have to go and find my notes. So, you end up going off to go and find a clothier. This is where I have to find details. What? Anyway. Instead of me making stupid noises. I'm trying to find the name. I can't find the name of the thing. Okay, so you end up finding a clothier, which is, hell yeah. It's called the Blossoming Rose.
Ooh. Fancy.
Sorry,
Bless you.
thanks.
And as you enter, there are a couple of people here. Nothing too busy, but you do notice a brown rabbit folk man who does not appear to be immediately busy.
Hello.
Hello.
Bear with me as I have to find my reference image for the man. You know, why am I searching through this? I could literally just do this. Click this, and then bada bing, bada boom. So the rabbit man looks at you, brushes his purple hair out the way. Ah, pleasure to meet you. The name's Jarvis. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for today? Might I interest you in some fine silken clothing, or are you looking for something a bit denser for this time of year?
Yes, more heavy duty. We are looking for. We're going traveling, and there's supposed to be a blizzard coming, so we want something nice and warm to keep us safe.
The rabbit man raises an eyebrow. Bad weather incoming? Wouldn't have thought it, but... Well, I suppose that the weather lately has been a little bit unpredictable.
My friend here has a bit of an intuition for it. They're usually right.
Do you have a particular fabric, particular size of fabric that you need? Is it more of a blanket? Are we talking like a tent lining? What are we looking at here?
Oh, that would be good. A tent lining would be
A
nice.
tent
And then
lining.
some blankets.
Okay. Well, let's see. And you watch as the shorter statured rabbit man totters off into the back of the clothier shop. It feels like a very incorrect statement. The clothier building. Whatever, I can't break self
The
today.
cloth is...
And he comes back
Clothy
with a
Germany.
rather large, rather dense looking blanket. Well, what do you think of this sort of material? Do you This is made of a type of he looks at the label of the cloth itself. Ah, yes, this is a behemoth mane blanket.
Ooh! And
Don't worry, it's
Marcel immediately starts rubbing it around his fingers.
Don't worry, it's ethically sourced. We don't take any sort of tortured beast products here, because they are normally subpar quality at best.
Such a thought never even crossed my mind.
Well, when you work in the cloth trade for a while, you tend to find that sort of thing comes up.
You do have to be mindful of budget, though. How much would this be?
Well, I might be willing to be bartered with. And you realise that he is ever so slightly bored.
Oh yes, we could do some pottery. What? How
How
about
much money does everyone have on them out of character?
7k, I think. we have.
7k?
Roughly. I think I have a little bit less, probably.
People who have spent funding already, it'll be on your treasure tab, but I'm pretty sure the only people that have spent funding so far is Scoria,
Wait,
I think. What?
does anyone else want to do an appraisal check? I was like, I'll do an appraisal check. Oh, 3,
Which is what total?
which is 8 total.
Okay. Does anybody else roll appraisal?
Right. I can roll.
Third one
I have
down.
good. Let's see. 22.
Hey, that's much
Damn.
better than mine.
You realise that
Damn.
this particular blanket will be worth about 3,000 gil on any good day, and that's like minimum price for it. As the behemoth fur blanket or behemoth hair blanket you're currently holding onto, that he's willing to make into a tent lining, is very, very luxurious material. This would be exactly what you would need to secure the inside of the tent with. And Marcel, you said you ran your hands through it earlier, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It almost it's an almost uncanny level of silken. And you notice, conveniently, on the blanket, that it is self-cleaning as well, because of the way that behemoth hair works. It essentially has an antimicrobial like thread within the hair itself, which is why behemoths stay clean for as long as they do, despite basically fighting each other all the time.
But it doesn't have anti-crumb properties, so be careful when you're eating.
You do
not
notice
good for
that
Mocha.
that comes up on that's actually mentioned on the label, is that the thread of the hairs themselves are basically sewn well enough that you would just need to shake it out to get rid of crumbs. The only thing it doesn't have any sort of resistance to is like sticky materials, so things like honey or wax, or like things like
No consuming
gelatinous
honey
cube.
in the behemoth tent.
or like the gel of a gelatinous cube, things
Well-
like that.
Well, guys, do we want to pay full price for it, and we want to barter down?
Barter, obviously.
You would
Or I
be
would probably just do regular price.
you would be rolling persuasion if you wished to barter.
So about
So
3,000, yeah.
it's
Hugmug very persuasive. Hugmug
It's-
can do this.
It is. this is like the second time where Hugmug has realized they're playing a high charisma, very persuasive build.
Ooh, Hugmug very persuasive,
Which is what I was
guys.
about
Watch
to
the fuck
say. If
out.
we're bartering, Hugmug is doing it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to roll persuasion to start bartering, you're more than welcome to.
Please
But I
be
will let you
reasonable,
guys. I will let you guys settle as to whether or not you want to barter. There are 3 of you here,
Yes.
so if it is
Yeah,
mutually
I'll
agreed, yeah,
Hugmug can barter.
roll persuasion.
There are some pretty powerful people here. I'd recommend we don't go too low. Because we still need the tent, and if we piss them off too much,
You still have a tent.
we still need the lining for the tent.
Yes, that's what you're bartering for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He might refuse to sell it to us if we take the piss.
Do you want to roll an insight check?
Uh-oh.
No one would refuse my little.
What did you roll total?
16.
16. You're aware that this man has a very positive and upbeat sort of energy to him. It does not seem like you would be capable of pissing him off. In fact, he'd probably just laugh at you.
Okay.
Is that challenge?
You're more than welcome to try.
No, I'm joking.
Alright, Hugmug, go for it.
Yippee! Persuasion roll time.
Yes.
$18.
18. Okay. So you're back and forth bartering with the rabbit man, and he has a smile on his face. All right. Final offer, 2,000 gil. For the then he looks at the measurements for the tent that you've got. Yeah, say 2,000 gil. And I'll sort out tent lining, and I'll give you whatever material is left over as a blanket.
Fantastic. I'll take it. That sounds great. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kindness.
Just perfectly fine. I'll admit, I've been hoping to clear out this particular material for a little bit. Because we're supposed to be getting a new shipment in soon, and the person who runs this shop does not think about space. Honestly.
Well, I'm glad we can clear some of your shelves for you.
It's perfectly fine. So, I'm going to take the 2,000 gil out of your pocket, Hugmug,
Yep.
and I will put the heavy duty.
Surprised we didn't actually barter.
I
No.
was ready to put up a good barter fight, but
What were you going to
Apparently
offer
it was-
as your first offer?
Mainly,
um,
mainly because I see it going south very quickly.
3 coins.
no. 3 humble pennies.
What's in my pocket?
Because just for context,
A paperclip.
It's like, just for context, 1 gil is the equivalent of basically the equivalent of like 1 pence in this world. If you want a side by side comparative.
That's what that's like.
1 minuscule gill.
So essentially, you've just been given a whole tent lining and a blanket for what is essentially the equivalent of like 200 quid, give or take.
That's pretty reasonable.
Surely it's
That's
like
about as much
Depends on the
30.
society we live in.
I might
Or is
be
it-
incorrect, but
Your math is off.
my math is off.
If
But I
one
don't
gil is-
care.
If 1 gil is 1 penny, then 3,000 gil is like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know, and I'm not really bothered.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not.
stop
It's
nerding.
not a direct. It's not a direct metric
Stop nerding.
Yeah.
because the coins are probably more expensive than what they're being used for. To be fair, my math is
Isn't
not
that
mathing, but I can't.
Who
be-
needs
I-
maths anyway?
I can't be bothered to brain cell right now. But yeah, it's probably like 20, 30 quid equivalent. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. Ow, my finger. Whack the inside of the table. So you get your tent lining. I put it in Hugmug's equipment bag. There we go. And with that, you have a sail.
Yay.
Worthy investment.
And so, I'm presuming you'll be returning back to meet up with the others.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, you go back, and you find that Mocha, Scoria, Mason, and Xavier have essentially compiled into one room. And you've gotten your tent lining, and if you choose to, you've got one more night you can spend here, or you can start making headway towards Orcus now. It's up to you.
What time is it?
Let's say it's about 2 or 3 in the evening at this point.
2 or 3 in the evening.
Yeah, so 2 or 3 p.m. I'm calling it
yeah.
evening because it'll be winter because it's more winter time in the game.
Okay.
It'll be treated more like evening.
2 a.m.
Oh, we should
No.
definitely sleep tonight then. Leave tomorrow morning.
It is up to you.
Sleep,
I
sleep,
think
sleep,
we stay
sleep.
here- You stay here until and leave tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there anything you wish to do in the meantime? Or will you be primarily awaiting your,
You'll
Oh,
not think
I will
so.
be sneakily sewing the scarf for Goria without her knowing.
I mean, you two are in separate rooms. Hugmug is with the girls, and then Marcel, Florian, Mason, and Xavier in the other room.
2 of my best skills, stealth and sewing, together.
Oh, if Hugmug's with the girlies, we can have girl time.
If only they were here.
You already did that.
Yeah.
My girlies.
It resulted in the creation of Mug Hug.
Mug hug.
Don't
Bring back
remind me
mug
of
hug.
this. Don't remind me
That's
of
not-
this.
considered love.
Hashtag bring back mug hug.
No.
So, Florian, you are sewing the scarf. Hugmug, is there anything in particular you'll be doing with your time before you set out the next day?
Writing love letters to mug hug.
Isn't
From Marco,
Marcel
surely.
supposed to be in love with?
Yes, to
Yeah.
then put them round Marcel's room
Okay.
and pester
Okay.
him under the door.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Marcel, what are you doing?
I mean, you don't need to do that because your character currently believes that Mug Hug is actually real.
I mean, there's nothing stopping Hugmug from scoring with you further.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But what are you doing, Marcel?
Guess I'll see what the other 2 boys are doing.
What Mason and Xavier are doing?
Yep.
I think. You can see Mason is fumbling with his new armor, and he is trying to figure out where all the straps sit and get used to basically adjusting where they sit. It's like you'll see him like one of the shoulder pads, like adjusting how tight the strap is around his bicep, and he'll be like adjust the strap, flexing it, see if it strains, loosen the strap a bit. So he's got the right idea of like which pot holes to put the clips into and whatever.
Okay.
And Xavier seems to be mulling over something. He's looking at a book with a pen in hand.
We give Mason a hand with his straps.
Okay, so you go over to Mason, who, the moment you approach, you nearly
No,
get...
it's not that one, it's that one. Over there.
Well-
The wrong hole.
Well, how am I supposed to know? This ain't exactly my first time doing it. Well, this ain't exactly my first time doing this, but
Well,
it's always
generally,
been like a bet.
generally buttons don't go across the chest, they go down when they're in a pocket.
But they're straps. What?
Don't worry.
You help him figure that out. And at one point, you're helping with the straps for the other shoulder pad around his right arm, and he's like doing the same thing he did last time, like flexing against the strap to basically make sure that it's comfortable, and he ends up basically picking you up off the floor with his arm.
Oh my.
Because he's basically trying to see if the strap will snap if he's not careful, and trying to make sure he's got it absolutely perfect.
That seems pretty secure.
Yeah, can't be too sure. I remember me ma telling me about the time where she had some leather chest armor, and she jumped up, she sneezed with a bit too much vigor, and she snapped the straps. Apparently, the buttons on the leather chest piece became weapons of mass destruction.
Imagine they did. Some say they're still traveling to this day.
Absolutely. Well, no, I think the armor's pretty comfortable now.
Cool.
And you notice he takes out like a little like etching pen with some silver ink and starts marking around where the correct holes are and where the correct like strap points are, so he knows where it is.
Don't forget to put your name in it in case it gets lost.
Where are you, my ma? Florian, smack him around the back of the head. I'd do it, but I'd probably knock him halfway across the room.
Busy.
Okay.
Says while he's doing.
So Mason basically flicks you in the forehead with his index finger. Just dunk.
You get to flick back.
Hey. If I stand up, you can't reach. And so he does that. He just stands up, and you can't reach his forehead to flick it anymore.
So Marcel essentially scrambled up his chest, almost doing like a wall run, to poke him in the nose again.
You get
With
body
his high
slammed.
dex.
You get body slammed.
Ow! That was a little unnecessary.
You're met with cushion. So you're met with a mattress. You're fine, but he basically just belly flops onto his mattress,
Doesn't stop the
flattens
G-forces.
you, basically flattens you, and then just gets back up and starts putting his armor back into his bag, as though nothing's happened at all.
You win this round, Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, I win. And so,
And so Marcel crawls over to where Xavier is.
okay, and Xavier just looks at you with amusement. Pancake.
What you're eating?
I'm not eating anything. I'm writing.
You're writing?
The.
Oh. Is it diary?
Hmm?
Is it diary?
The.
Okay, I will look through it.
And he shows you the day's entry, which basically logs everything that's happened during the day. And also
Leave out the part where I got body slammed.
You notice he's already written that in
Damn it.
ink. You notice that within it, he's also logging the how he is experiencing emotions and how that is compared to what was trained into him / out of him. It's like the emotions he lost during the training that he had and how they're slowly starting to return to him.
You are making good progress.
And
I am proud of you.
he frowns at you for a
He's
minute.
beaming a smile without realizing he's being condescending whatsoever.
You're a little shit, you know that.
What? I'm trying to be nice.
But it came out as a little bit condescending. Especially when I am twice your age. Easy. He rolls his eyes at you.
I don't think
Honestly.
pride has an age requirement. Anyway,
Yes, well, having a little mouth be condescending is a bit of a jab at the ego. Honestly. He rolls his eyes at you. So, I hate to be the one to ask, and he looks at both you and Florian. Are you planning on keeping us about? Like, for longer term, or?
yeah,
Forever and ever.
of course.
You can
I'm
never
part of the
leave.
team.
I mean,
You
they
are
could.
not escape.
I mean, they could quite easily leave, but it is more of a question,
I would find you.
and they would kill you.
Not if I kill you both first.
And
No.
almost as if to catch you in that statement, he grabs you by the nape of your neck. So basically, just grabs you by the back of the neck and just like pushes your face down into the quilt underneath him. No, you will not. And he releases you.
That made my head feel funny.
It is because I gripped a little bit too hard around your jugular vein. I cut off a little bit of the oxygen and blood flow to your head.
That's dangerous.
It is. And he has a completely unfazed smile on his face as though he's done nothing wrong at all.
And Marcel just sort of stares forward and blinks and blinks and blinks. Anyway,
And you, much to your surprise, you feel a surprisingly soft touch on both sides of your skull as Xavier's slightly calloused fingers massage the sides of your skull, and it slowly brings your focus back into being a lot faster than you presume would be the case if you were to naturally recover. Like he's
Okay.
basically bringing you back to Earth. So I suppose that I'm going to have to fight alongside you guys at some point.
that will be so cool. We finally get to see what you can do.
Hopefully nothing too terrifying, but sure. Anyway, perhaps it would be in our best interest to get to bed early.
I suppose so.
Nothing like beating the sun to get up. And so he puts his book away. So, and he kind of gently tilts his head down towards your ear, Marcel. So are you joining me? Are you joining Mason? Are you getting in your own bed? What are you doing this evening? Which is surprisingly forward from him, considering all things considered.
That
For context, he's rolling a d6 and he just rolled a 3 times over.
was like 1 and a 2 would be with Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
3 and a 4 would be on his own.
So you just rolled on your own 3 times. We're like, damn it!
Broke alone.
Damn it!
5 and 6 would be Mason. It's Mason.
Okay. So Xavier is looking at you expectantly, awaiting a response. So, what is your plan?
I'm going to cuddle up with Little.
No, that is cute. Well, then get your
He scrambles under the covers and makes himself immediately comfortable in Mason's bed and falls asleep.
leaving Mason looking rather startled as Xavier is chuckling to himself. Xavier looks over at Florian. I don't know about you, but I think he's a little bit eager to go to sleep. Oh dear. And so Mason climbs into his bed, somehow awkwardly positioning himself around Marcel, who I'm imagining has taken the central mass of
Oh yeah, he's
the
got like
mattress.
full diagonal spread eagle.
Of course. So
Like,
Mason
it was respectful at first. He was curled up a little bit in a ball, and then as soon as he started to hit proper sleep, he just flipped outwards.
I can't help but feel like this is a jab at me. Because I thought the exact same thing.
This is definitely me last night.
I fall asleep, and when I go to sleep, I sometimes start tossing and turning and rolling until I'm at a diagonal, because it's the most comfortable position. You get the most bed space. It is optimal
I'm
comfort.
not at all referencing the fact that you take over the entire bed.
Love you.
You too.
So,
Just get a bigger bed, guys.
I wish, but the space
Get a
where the
bigger
bed,
apartment.
the space for the bed is not. Oh, we're looking at it anyway. Back onto the session.
That requires big boy money.
So
Requires big boy money.
fair. Brain cells, please.
30k is not enough for that yet.
Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. My brain's already forgotten where I was.
You're going to sleep.
Mason tries to awkwardly position himself to try and not squish Marcel.
Does it work?
Mostly, he has to kind of like reposition where the little mouse man is, but you end up settling down, and the next day rolls in, where you are awoken quite early. As Florian, you open your eyes and there is the smiling face of Xavier. Hey, shh, be a little bit be subtle, but we'll go over there.
I
As
look over there.
as he points over at Mason's bed, where Mason is rather gloriously starfished across the whole bed, and basically Marcel is kind of just like, like a Greek, like a toga. Essentially, Marcel is like across the top of Mason, like the equivalent of a toga minus the fabric. It's quite funny, and like Marcel's head is like off the side of Mason's chest, like the back of his head is like underneath Mason's arm, like his legs are like have basically fallen off the side of the bed, the way he is positioned. It is kind of funny, I'm not going to lie. Look,
Marcel's having a dream about being at the World Twister Championships.
of course.
He's winning.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I'm not going to wake them yet, but I thought you'd find that quite funny. And so Xavier gives you let's let you chill for a little bit to wake up. And then once you're awake and you can hear Hugmug and the girls in the other room waking up. Xavier has a wicked grin on his face as he's now aware that everyone else is awake, and he casts Ghost Sound. And so you hear the equivalent, like the noise equivalent of 40 people in a room as a trumpet. The equivalent of a hilariously loud air horn. No. An air horn, like the noise going off. Waking you both up. Unfortunately, The sound of Marcel screaming in shock of being woken up by an air horn is very quickly muffled by the bull who has launched himself out of bed sideways, and so you get the front row seat, Florian, to watching Marcel get flattened underneath the half asleep Mason who is trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So it is just floorboards, Marcel, bull.
Oh dear.
So essentially, you just hear Marcel go, "Ah," followed by the sound of him squeaking as the air is crushed out of his lungs. It goes, ah! Wait! Flattened. So the two of them eventually wake up fully, and you are preparing for the trip ahead. And the intuition that you had, Florian, is correct, as today's newspaper has been placed upon the counters of in all of the rooms, that a harsh blizzard is on its way in, and that it will be sweeping across the coastline, but should hopefully avoid the towns. Though it is ill-advised over the next couple of days to travel between Lenfar and the town of Floss. The same can be said for any potential trips to the city of Magnolia as well.
That happened to be on our route.
It does not.
Oh, okay.
But the blizzard itself does sweep across the coast that you're planning to use to hook around to where August is. So it does backfire on you a little bit, but Florian, your prediction of the future seems to have come true. That, or maybe whatever religious entity or religion-based entity informed you of, let's say, a higher power. I don't know why I'm trying to sound more intellectual than I am.
You could make a lot of money as a weatherman.
But it seems like whatever higher power has informed you of this potential danger was correct. And so you get to be a little bit smug as breakfast is had, and you all gather together, preparing to leave the town of Lenfar. So,
Gods must like you, Florian.
Maybe.
How the hell did you know that was going to happen? It's kind of crazy.
Just a feeling I had.
Is it to do with your future sight thing?
It's the feeling.
Is it a feeling inside your bones? I hear magic.
I don't think so.
I remember being told.
Is tonight gonna be a good night?
Because I remember somebody telling me years ago that magic was stored in the bones or something like that. Someone else I can't quite think of, but yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
I wonder if they were called Imagine Dragons.
Well, who knows? Anyway, enough fantasizing about something draconic. We should probably get a wiggle on. And so,
Yep.
you start heading out. Brain cells, come on. Brain, please. There it is. Because I have to mute the thing, because otherwise... There it is. So, you start walking, and it's a slow trek. It's a slow trek. And along the way, Florian, you're not actually walking in the snow, as Xavier has basically picked you up and popped you on his shoulders. As you realize the snow along this coastline is laughably dense. To the point where, were you two just wander around here normally, you will probably disappear under the depth of the snow. And you get a very strong confirmation of this as Scoria is basically buried up to like the waist in snow along this coastline.
I'm sure.
Hopefully it is not too bumpy or light there. Just don't get caught on my antlers, or I will laugh at you. And so you make your way along the coast until you find a nice little section of beach to stop at. And so you take a little break here. So
Not for swimming again.
please don't.
We may freeze.
Oh, but swimming is so nice.
Please don't. You will literally freeze to death. And it will not end well.
I'm part bear. I'll be okay.
No, you won't. Trust me, you will freeze. Quite literally. And you, as you are taking your rest, you hear a screeching sound. Would you like to
Animal?
roll me a perception?
Hearing?
Hearing, sight, either hearing, sight, or smell, whichever one is your preference.
Oh yes, we can do a smell.
I have hearing advantage, so we'll do. Oh, thank fuck for the advantage. Okay. Perception. 15.
21.
And Hogmark?
Unnatural 20.
So, Florian, yours was hearing. Hugmug, yours was smell, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And Marcel, yours was sight.
I assume so. I don't get a bonus to any of them, so it could be any.
Okay, well, I said for you to pick one.
So
So between the three of you, you both hear, see, and smell the approaching infernal creature, as the scent of sulfur is very, very lightly detectable upon the wind.
Marcel, as slowly as he can, draws out his rapier.
And it screeches at you in defiance. As it has very much spotted you, as you recall that it is capable of detecting you based upon your alignment.
Oh, it's this fuck. No.
It seems like the Alberich from earlier has re-emerged.
But it died.
It was banished.
Oh.
When you visited that unusual planar merchant, he banished it. He did not.
Well, maybe he should have
He didn't
kept
banish
that.
it very far, did he?
A banished creature will reappear from where it was banished from, unless it moves. So,
Roll for initiative.
give me a second, please. I know you can see what's on my screen, but
Oh, I've not looked at your screen.
keeping you up, am I?
I'm just a little. We'll suck it out.
Transfer the screens across.
We've moved.
You have.
It's a Albert. Alright.
A purple rectangle.
So that purple rectangle is where you are to line yourselves up.
Oh my god, I need to remember how to do this.
No, that's the wrong one. God
How
damn it.
far away from it are we?
This is when...
We want to be... Most of my things are 30 feet, so...
I'm
Okay,
going
as
in
close
front of
as I
mine.
can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a.
I've got the highest AC, so I might as well.
You are allowed to move outside of the square. So long as it's like you're half in the square, you're fine.
Oh.
Because that puts it within my movement speed.
Yeah.
Stab it left in the face.
And you're aware that this creature, you are going to have to fight this creature. It will not leave you alone.
What if I looked at it with my big cat eyes, really sadly?
It's blind. Do recall.
Oh, right.
Also, scratch out.
It's my powers.
I really want to see Florian do an intimidate check at some point.
Florian has
I
done
do.
an intimidate check at a point. He got a 3.
I was just picturing like the.
I thought I got like a
Up on
yeah, I
his
got a 3 and
paunches.
then I rolled
Up on
a
his
3 and then
paunches and
I
hissing.
got -2, so that was total.
You
-2.
you like almost roll the negative.
He's
I think I
just a
did
little
roll.
guy.
I think I rolled a 3 and then I had -5, so it was -2.
Florian, I'm gonna fucking kill you! Aw, you're so
Aw,
cute!
you're so angry.
In lowercase.
But I'm gonna kill you in lowercase. Okay, that's kind of that's adorable. Okay, so roll for initiative. As you are going to have to fight the Eldritch. There does not seem to be a way of getting away from this thing, aside from letting it kill you. But I doubt that you guys want to let this thing straight up fucking murder you. So, smiley face.
Right, initiative. Enough cat gifts.
Oh boy, I
Pardon
rolled.
me.
Florian,
16.
16.
Oh wait, I've managed an initiative on plains, grasslands, and other open natural environments.
Yep.
We are in an open natural environment.
Getting that. Hug mug.
6.
6. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Just making sure I heard you correctly. Marcel.
I know,
19.
it was bad.
19. Fucking hell. Okay.
Good advantage, didn't I? I
Yeah.
got a +9 for initiative.
Damn, boy.
Plus 9?
Oh,
That's...
yes.
Whoa,
High
whoa.
dex.
What's happening?
High dex +5 because of high dex, and then because of one of the Bemis, I believe. No, it's not Bemisian. It's one of the wild fawn traits gives him an extra bonus to initiative whilst in open natural areas.
20 dex and intelligence.
Congratulations, your charisma is non-existent.
Oh yeah, it's completely non-existent.
Anyway, speaking of non-existent charisma, Mr. Non-existent charisma, it is you first.
Okay, so Marcel will sprint forward. That's close enough to hit it, right? The diagonal? Yep. And he will attempt to use Imperil.
Okay.
It's not a roll to hit, is it?
No.
No. What's his save? That? Okay. Yeah, roll me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Come on.
22.
How is this thing wise? Evil.
Wise, or I just rolled really high? It depends. How
Yeah,
evil?
say
wiser
it's-
It depends. How
Too
evil do you
wise.
think I am at this point in time?
He seems
Very.
very high for this part of the game. Well. Anyway, go stab it. Stab it in the fucking face.
Is this part of spell combat?
Yes.
Okay. A reminder that you should probably announce that at the start of the attack.
Okay.
But go ahead. Roll to hit. I should probably remember what the thing does.
19 on the dice. Hey. So that is a 26 to hit.
26. That hits.
That doesn't hit, I'm in trouble. Doing 8 piercing damage.
Doing 3 piercing damage.
Ooh. Okay.
As you notice, its infernal nature seems to reduce the impact of your weapon. At the end of your turn.
Yes, I believe so.
Florian.
Oakley dokily. I've forgotten how to Florian.
It's alright.
Spells. What did I do
What's
last
Fate
time?
Scratch?
I did deprotect. Deprotect, yes.
Deprotect?
That
Okay.
is deprotect. Wait, let me. Short range. How long is short? Oh, I have to go into combat and do it right.
Yeah. A little fun tipper for you. If you start typing the word in, it will auto finish it for you.
Deprotect 30 feet. And now
That's a lot of feet.
I probably have to move 5 feet forward. Blip. There you go. Deprotect. Make a wisdom save. Low.
I just realised I'm not giving this thing correct hit points, but it's fine.
Roll low. Roll low.
Give me a second. I have done.
The more
Florian is
the
willing it.
longer you take, the more I can say roll low, and the more likely it will be that you roll low. So
Bear.
roll low, roll low, roll low.
Roll.
Correct, it's not cool.
Gently down the stream.
Okay, so it's a wisdom save against Deprotect. Yes?
One more, please.
Yeah.
It rolls a 19.
That was not
It didn't
low.
work. My magic.
I have rolled really high twice. I just want you to know this. I was like, this will be fine. I've rolled high twice.
One of my bonus. I can give things. I have buff things. Yes, draw. Bonus action.
Ooh.
Draw. D8. I will give our good pal Marcel a D8 thing, whatever it is.
Yeah. Roll it. I'd recommend rolling it first.
Yeah.
Just in case.
What, I can roll and then decide who to give it to?
Yes.
Excellent, I'll do that. Just
Because that makes it makes the ability better. So I would say roll out what it is first and then decide afterwards. That's how I've always done draw.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Unless you want to gamble with your
It
odds.
gains a damage reduction of
So that would be physical resistance.
of 1. Marcel or maybe Scoria. What do you think, Marcel?
Damage reduction.
Damage reduction.
How much health do you have? Can you give them to yourself?
I have very high AC, is the thing.
Okay. Well, I'll take it. I am on the front line.
Yeah,
It's
go
not bored
ahead,
yet.
Marcel. Get some damage reduction. And
Okay.
I'm going to go to the toilet.
Make sure to
I'll
add that to your
remove
buff debuff.
1 point of MP and then go to the toilet.
Yep.
MP and then put in my ability tracker thing.
Mhm.
Ability active. There we go.
Great damage reduction.
Well, you
I'll be back.
draw.
Ah.
Type the word draw,
And then which one is it?
and it is the bowl. Modifier 1. Okay. This is where Lupus, DM Mac, has realized that he has not sorted something out. This is awkward.
It's okay.
Whoops.
Yeah, sorted. So the next person to act is Xavier. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Hmm.
Big thinky thonks.
It's going to use Shadow Summoning, spending 5 points of MP, and is going to use this to cast counter rockets. So you watch as an illusory imitation of the god Cerberus appears and unleashes these beams of light. For the next 10 rounds, Hugmug, you have haste.
Oh my goodness.
Cool.
That's his action, and then bonus action. Does he have a bonus action? Then as a bonus action, he is going to use his movement speed first. Before I announce that he's going to do this, because I don't know if he has the movement speed for it. Ooh, he doesn't. He's just going to move up next to Marcel. That is the end of Xavier's turn.
Marcel can use a reaction to pull him forward.
No, you do not have. You do not have the strength to move this 8-foot deer man. Unfortunately, this very large gentleman. Next up is Mocha. Brain cells. Her hunter sprays animals. This thing is not an animal, so Mocha is going to use speed. 30 foot to move there. And is going to attempt to poke the thing with her battle fork. Rolling a 16, which does not hit. Ending Mocha's turn. Meaning it is the Alberich.
Probably has a bone to pick with me since I smashed it into the ground.
Probably does, yeah.
Although, does it know it was me? No, I suppose it does, because I probably would have made a lot of noise.
There are two things within its possible. Okay. You watch as the Alberich turns towards you, Marcel, and casts Fire 3.
I rolled a hit.
It is. And you watch as the intense ball of flame rockets past you and off into the ocean.
Going to deflect it?
As it is blind. It is
See
afflicted.
where I am.
It is afflicted with the blind status. It is just going off of the sounds made of people that moved near it in the last few seconds. Cool. It is then going to take the search action. It's going to roll perception. And it now has a clear lock on where you are, Marcel. as it listens and searches for the sound of your breathing, and immediately whips around towards you to directly face you, staring you down. That is the end of its turn. The next person to act be Scoria. Okay, Scoria. I'm not going to have her jump just yet. I'm going to have her move up. And I'm just going to have her attempt to roll it. Fuck me, okay. That's a 27, nat 20. That definitely hits. Doing... Fucking hell.
Max damage?
12 on the d12.
Is it dead?
17 times 2. 34. Doing 29 points of piercing damage. Ascoria managed to land a powerful strike into the thing's back. There's a tiny fly that I was about to slap out the air. I swear those things are annoying.
Is it still alive?
It is still alive. You can see its health bar.
I thought you were talking about the fly for a minute.
No. Otherwise you would
So
have
the
heard
fly has a health bar?
Definitely. It's a Dark Souls boss. Mason moves up. Swings at it, rolling an 18 to hit. Missing. That is the end of Mason's turn. Hugmug.
Yippee! Okay, Hugmug, I have to... Oh no, I'm Ving my sheet! Oh no. I unV'd it.
Oh god. No, I'm
What I
being
wanted
my
to do
sheep.
was cast Mog.
Yep, and that should get
Mog
everybody.
everyone.
Let me just check. Yeah, that'll get everybody. So everybody now has Mog.
Enjoy your Mog. And Mog has a fun ability that goes with it for me.
Yep. Would that happen
Called
to be an
Emerald
Ward? Yes.
Yes.
That is
Look at me
actually
go, I
that
read
is
my
actually a buff that you can put into your buff and debuff tracker.
Oh, how fancy. Let me do that.
So for the next 4 rounds, you will have a +1 to your AC and spell saves. So that's your first action
Yippee!
and bonus action. What are you doing
And
with the
then,
second
yeah,
action?
and now my second action is... So I wanted to ask, because this thing is blind,
Mhm.
so technically could I do an auditory hallucination and like confuse it?
You could distract it with an auditory hallucination, yes.
Really?
It would still have to roll a saving throw to disbelieve the illusion, but if you succeed with that, so basically if it fails it's saved, you will be able to screw with its ability to pay attention to what's happening. And would also mean that it
Yes.
can no longer directly lock on to Marcel. Presuming that Marcel doesn't
That's what I want to do.
place. Okay. So if you want to spend make sure you spend the MP from casting Mog.
Oh yeah, I actually don't know if I have enough MP. I assume I do.
You should have enough, yeah.
It's a
a
bold
first level spell.
assumption.
They're both first level spells if memory serves correctly. Yes. So you'll have plenty of MP. So yeah, I will. Are you going to go ahead and cast auditory hallucination?
Yes.
Okay. What is the save? It's a wisdom save. I've already figured this out. Brain cells, please. Okay. So, what is your DC? You can check that for me.
Let me find it.
You go to your combat page and just change the drop down box for Mog to auditory hallucination, which will give you the DC.
16.
It fails. What is the noise you are making with auditory hallucination? Because you do have a choice.
I could
Of what the
probably
sound
replicate Marcel's stomping to like behind it or something.
Yeah. So it is now confused as to where the thing is, and it is no longer directly locked onto Marcel. So I will have to get it to re-roll if it wants to focus on anything. But yes, you have succeeded. So it is trying to figure out where Marcel's footsteps are coming from. But each time it changes which direction it's looking, because you've specified that the sound is coming from behind it. Each time it turns to see, or like I say see in air quotes, to like face the direction of the sound is still behind it.
Yes.
Okay. And that is the end of the round.
Yep.
Meaning Marcel.
Marcel will move within its threat range still.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of it.
Yep.
And attempt to do the same thing again. Give me a wisdom save. In peril.
Mm-hmm. Is this part of spell combat?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It rolls a 20.
And that succeeds! Like, oh, this bitch only rolled high against me, I'm gonna be upset.
Okay. And what are you following this up with?
Stabbing it.
Okay, roll to hit.
20 to hit.
20 hits.
Dealing 11 damage.
Okay. You do 6 damage.
It's the end of Marcel's turn.
Okay. Next person to act is Florian.
Hello.
Hi. What are you gonna do?
I could try. Has anyone taken damage? Because I can't see anyone's health bars except mine.
As this point in time, no. The Albridge has been unable to hit anybody yet.
Sick. Let's try that D-Protect again.
Okay. A wisdom save, yes?
It is a wisdom save.
It's half my MP.
It rolls an 8. Total.
Yippee!
So
-2 AC for 3 rounds.
the protect -2 AC for 3 rounds.
-1 more MP. And I only have one draw active at a time.
No, you can have multiple uses of draw. It's very think of it the same way you would think of like a buff like protect or shell. It functions in a very similar manner. The only thing being you cannot have 2 of the same draw on the same person. So you couldn't have the bowl and then the bowl again. If that makes sense.
Can't stack those damage reductions.
You can't stack the same buff. It's like the same thing you can't do with bard stacking, whatever. But yeah.
Well, we're
So you
probably
have
not
many.
gonna run into anyone else again today. So I'll throw another draw in there.
Go for it. What do you pull?
8. Well, +1 on crit chance.
Ooh. That's kind of spicy.
I'm like either Mocha or Scoria, I think. Mocha does big damage, right?
Yeah, both Mocha and Scoria have high damage output.
Hmm. Even, Mocha, odd, Scoria. Scoria. There we go. The mark on Scoria.
Okay. Scoria. Buffs and debuffs. Roar. The mark modifier. Okay. There we go. It's all applied. At the end of your turn.
Yep.
Okay. Xavier is next up. He is going to move back. That's 5, 10, 15. He's going to move back. And what are you going to do? What can you do? Retract 5. Because I've just realised I've not put you at the right angle. Where you're not going to fuck up Mocha in the process. So, let's move him back to where he was. That's a thing I can do. Do it. God, I love the Control Z key. There we go. So, 5, 10. Gonna move to there. And proceeds to cast Shadow Summoning once more. Using Breach Blast. Forcing this thing to make a Dex save. What is it, DC? It is DC 20. Right, come on, dice. Don't be a...
Don't be a dick.
Wait. It's blind, so it gets a minus to that check. Okay. Nice. So it fails, fortunately. Okay. I failed the wisdom save as part of that as well. So it takes 36 water damage.
Nice.
And then 5, 10, 15. Using the rest of his movement to back up away from this thing. Meaning Mocha is next to act. Oh boy. Well, small child with fork rolls a 2, rolling a 10 total, so that's a miss. Okay. that was... So the Alberich is the next to act. Is it capable of... Nope, it is still under the effects of the auditory hallucination. And so, from where Marcel was previously, it has turned around a few times. And of the people it can hear, it turns towards Mason.
Wait, but it can't hear anyone because it's got the hallucinations.
Mm-hmm. I rolled.
Oh, R.I.P.
I basically rolled as to who it picked up on. And it picked up on Mason.
No.
Because I'm picturing Mason is not exactly a quiet fella. He is large, and large amount of pressure down on snow means crunch. And also because his his passive stealth is very low.
Big crunch.
It is going to attempt to cast Fire 3 again. It hits. Rolling a 27 total.
Ouch.
Alright, and I have to GM roll this. Ouch. Doing 38 points of fire damage to Mason.
Ouch.
So you watch this large ball of flame burst from this thing's hands as it's flicking its head back and forth, trying to find where Marcel's gone, and thinking it's found its target. It launches the ball of flame directly at Mason. You watch as the flames scorch him, and he lets out a pained cry.
How's he doing health-wise? Because I can't see his health.
He could be better. He could definitely be better. Do you guys want me to turn on your ability to see each other's health bars?
That would be useful.
Yeah,
Yes,
can
another
you?
health from people
Definitely.
healing.
Yeah.
I think I had this on to start with because you didn't have any sort of immediate capacity to connect each other. Right, let's see. So you should be able to see Scoria's health bar now.
Yep.
Cool.
Um,
Mocha's health bar should be visible. Marcel's health bar should be visible. Valorian's health bar should be visible. Pugmug's health bar should be visible. I won't show your MP bars, that seems a bit...
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
private.
It doesn't
That's
seem...
sensitive information.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't seem practical to show that off to everybody else. And then, okay, all the health bars should now be visible. Please let me know if anybody's health bars are not visible.
Yeah, I
Oh.
can see them all.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay?
I think if that hit me, I'd be dead.
That hit me on the floor at the very least.
And so it attempts to try and pick up on any sound cues.
Probably the scream of the person you just ignited with fire.
Yeah, it picks up on the same dude.
Right.
And you watch as it swings with both of its claws. The scrap. The first one go through. They will both go through the percentile. The first one hits. The second one does not. As Mason takes 9 points of damage.
You on the floor.
And you watch as the Albrich's claw slashes through. Slashes through the air, basically leaving a deep claw mark on Mason's chest as he drops to the ground unconscious.
Oh shit.
No.
That is the end of the Albrich's turn.
I got this.
Scoria is next to act. What is the thing's... she is going to jump, realizing this thing is a lot more vicious than initially expected. AKA Lupus's excuse for why he couldn't be bothered to figure out the jump thing straight out the gate. DC is... Okay. Okay, so Scoria is going to jump. Rolling a 34 on acrobatics. So that's... So getting a plus 3 to hit. Roll, okay. She rolls... So that's a crit, thanks to the mark. So that's 19... That's 29 to hit. That hits. Appreciate the fact that Scoria has crit twice. One was a
Very
nat 20,
much
the other one was a 19. I'm stealing Scoria's luck for the next turn.
Yeah. She's never gonna roll crit ever again.
The
Yeah,
jump
this is it.
the jump damage does not get multiplied.
Aww.
Yeah, that's a capstone dragoon thing.
Remember, guys, you have Bog.
Yes,
Right
I'm
now.
gonna get. I should have gotten her to mark her jump. To be fair, I completely forgot about that. She does 37 points of piercing damage.
We.
That's the end of Scoria's turn.
It's halfway.
Mason is on Mason's turn, so roll a death save. That's a success. Hugmug.
Woo! So I was gonna do. Wait, what's it called?
Do whatever you need to. I've got the big guy.
I'm sorry, I'm just paying.
Marcel gets a boost to his healing. So
Florian is also very good at healing. I'm just
It already has Protect, right?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just picturing in my head Florian and Marcel having the most childish little slap fight between the two of them, trying to figure out which one was going to heal.
I'm the healer.
Just the flailing of hands. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's already inflicted with Protect, and it is blinded. So
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to need to do a little run, and we're going to do Bonky Stick.
Bonky Stick. Okay. Do you have the movement speed to get up into this thing's grill? Yeah, you should do.
So-
Haste.
So
Yeah. Anyway, bonk.
yes,
Speak
so
my way.
I have 30 foot, and then I have a fancy thing on my abilities that I forget what it's
You
called.
have haste active, so you're fine.
I also have haste, and
Yeah,
now I can
so
do
you got
Bonky
movement.
Stick thing.
Yep. So go in. Go off. Wonk. Wonk. Whack that sumbitch.
Mass. 24 to hit.
That hits.
Yippee! Now, time to do damage. Okay, 1d10 plus 4.
Mhm.
Ten points of bludgeoning damage.
10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
Okay. So you do 5 bludgeoning damage. As you notice, it like Marcel's rapier, your attempts to bludgeon this thing into oblivion seem to be curbed by its infernal resilience. There's something about its infernal nature on this plane is making it harder to eliminate. Continue. You still have the second action from being hasted.
Yes, sorry, the thing that I was going to do to use my movement speed was called aggressive.
Yeah, you would have had enough movement speed
Yes.
naturally to get there. I forgot about
Oh.
haste for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
You Gucci.
So,
You
yeah,
good.
okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit it again.
Okay.
$17 to hit.
17 hits. Thanks
Woo.
to the D-Protect and the fact it is blinded.
Okay, 9 damage. 9 bludgeoning damage.
So you do 4 points of bludgeoning damage to it.
Woo.
And
Okay,
so
that's my turn.
we go back to the top of the initiative order on round 3. Marcel. Between you or Florian, please settle between the two of you who's actually healing.
Well, considering the fact my dice luck is absolutely awful right now, and it's resistant to the damage attempts that I'm making on it, I'm having very little other impact to this fight, so I'm going to heal Mason.
Go ahead.
I mean-
I'll blizzard him.
I mean, to be fair,
No.
both of you could probably heal him. He has it. I doubt that you're going to fully heal him.
Probably not, but I'll do a good job of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Disagreeing with that.
as I roll 4 on the dice, then I'm going to mark the bonus. So I'll heal him 34 health.
34 hit points. Okay. Remember to spend your
That's
MP?
true love.
True love is not letting
Mock-
your mans
Mocking,
perish.
Can I still
mocking
spell
the
combat? You spell
HP.
combat a healing spell.
Yes. You can spell combat any spell.
Can I also stab the thing?
As long as you're in combat
may,
and
yes.
spell.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And you're a red mage.
Yeah.
I know
You're
it's not
alive.
any closer. I know it's not in reality any closer, but that's just insulting.
What?
19 on the dice.
Mhm.
26 to hit.
26 hits.
That is a 13 damage.
13 damage. That is 8 points of damage
28.
total. Is that the end of your turn?
Hmm.
Okay. Next person to act is Florian.
Florian. EP. Let's see. You know what? Mason is high enough health. I'm gonna do a damage spell and hope I hit.
Okay.
Blizzard 2.
Okay.
Scary. Roll to hit. I did I mog the roll to hit just in case. That doubles it, right?
Yeah, that'll double the bonus to hit.
The bonus. Okay. My bonus to hit is. I'll mog the bonus to hit, so that's 12 plus 12.
What'd you roll on that one?
25.
That hits. Wait,
Okay.
did you roll on that one?
3d6.
You said 12 plus 12.
No,
Okay, what?
no, my hit bonus is 6.
Oh!
Double
right.
He
that.
said,
I rolled a
watch me
13
roll on
that
that
time.
one.
Never mind, I completely misprocessed that. Ignore me.
I think I have 3d6s. Wow, rolling the damage with real dice. It's been so long. 3d6 plus 5. Wow. Ooh, very nice. 4, 10, 13, 5, 18 ice damage, and make a con save against Frozen.
The con save is 10. You said 19. Was it 18 or 19 damage?
18 damage.
Okay, you notice it. You notice it has It seems resilient to ice, as it takes 8 points of damage.
That's evil, but it's from hell.
It is from hell.
Fire melt ice.
Hell doesn't have to be a cold place, a hot place, guys.
I mean, no. The
Get wrecked.
The
Hell's
cir-
actually cold.
the circle of lust in the 9 circles is definitely not flaming.
No.
It's not. That's
No.
crazy.
It's not.
It's perfectly. It's temperate.
Yeah, I mean,
It's actually lukewarm.
it's actually humid. I will not elaborate any further. Anyway, Florian, what are you doing? Are you using a bonus action, or are you ending your turn there?
My bonus. May cast it. Oh, I can cast a healing or damage spell as a bonus action, but it has half its normal healing / damage.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah. Nah, I just used 2 MP, and now I'm at half MP. So I will conserve MP.
So you're ending your turn there?
I will be ending my turn.
Pardon-moi. Xavier, seeing that things aren't exactly going as planned, Oh, I can't target it without hitting one of you guys. Oh no. That's a little bit inconvenient. Do I have anything that he can do that is not going to hit one of you? That is the question to be asked. Can't believe I didn't think ahead for this. Lol. He's going to cast Shadow Elemental again using Petrifying Beak. Fucking... I hate this thing. As it rolls an... It's forced to roll a con save, that it nat 20s. Fucking... So it succeeds, and avoids being petrified. And it's another 5.
Oh, did it get frozen?
Yes, it did. So it has...
Oh, right, I have to roll for the duration, I think.
Yes. My apologies, I definitely
Very nice.
forgot about that. So
3
that
rounds.
means for the next 3 rounds, it has its movement speed halved. Fun fact: if you get it wet before you freeze it, it gets stuck in a shell of ice. Water and ice synergy, if you like.
Is it also wet from the snow, though?
Unfortunately not. It is not wet enough that it be considered drenched.
Damn.
Mocha would be the next to attack. God damn, girl. Rolling a 13 to hit, which misses. I am just rolling really... I'm rolling amazingly for Scoria, but terribly for Mocha. It's like the reverse of what's normally the case. Okay, so that's the end. That's the end of Mocha's turn. Is it gonna have the brain cells to do that? Time to roll an intelligence check. Oh boy. The Alberich lets out a horrific sounding screech as it's being pummeled from many different directions. And realizing that its usual method of fighting and a lot of its more innate traits aren't fully functional due to, well, unfortunately being half-assed summoned, it is going to roll to hit. Who is the... Wait, how many of you are there? 3, 4, 5. It's not going to attempt to attack Marcel, because Marcel is behind it. Both in front of it, behind it, whatever.
I mean, if the illusion's still active, I'm both.
Yes. Well, in that case, then I roll a d6.
Yeah, don't forget the hallucinations.
Ah! Uh-oh. Well, this is going to be interesting. As it attacks you, Hugman.
No!
Does a 20 hit? Because I don't know if you have Deflect or one of the reaction spells.
Unfortunately, I do not, and therefore it does hit.
Okay. So, you take 8 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a con save against poison.
Ah. So 8 points of piercing.
So 8 piercing damage. And I need you to make me a con save versus poison.
Okay, con save.
It is a non-magical save, just to clarify.
Okay, maths. 50... 23.
23. You succeed.
Wait. Yes, yes, sorry. I got confused, yes.
Yep. 23.
Yeah, because I rolled a 15 and then I did the maths on the sheet.
You rolled a 15, you have a 6 bonus. Oh yeah, because you have an inherent bonus to poison because... Orc.
Yeah, because I'm fancy.
Because Orc. Oh, that definitely may have saved your ass there. Yep, you are safe from the poison. Is it? And after it stings you, realizing it's being attacked from multiple angles and it cannot see what's attacking it because it cannot stop long enough to focus. Let's see if this is going to be a terrible idea. Oh, okay. It is going to cast Fire, targeting itself. So I need...
It's heating itself up.
I need a dex save from Marcel, Hugmug, Mason, Scoria, and Mokus. Basically everybody that isn't Florian or Xavier. Please make me a dexterity saving throw, please. It's a magical dex save.
Does that have a burning effect on it as well?
No, it does not. So... I need to do Mocha's dex save. Scoria's dex save. Dark. I approve. A magical dex save. Okay, right, so... Marcel?
Mm-hmm.
What did you roll?
23.
23, okay. Mocha rolls a 19. Scoria rolled a 10. Okay, there's the bad Scoria save. Mason rolls a 6. Oh my god. And Hugmug?
22.
22. Okay. Would that affect this thing? Yes, it would. Okay. So, Marcel and Hugmug, you succeed. The rest of them fail. And so, I'm going to describe this from Florian's POV. So you watch as this thing screeches, it casts a spell, and basically turns itself into a ball of flame.
Don't tell me it absorbs fire damage.
It is immune to fire damage.
Okay. Could be worse.
Much worse.
Could have just healed itself for its entire health bar.
So,
Go on then, Chief. Hit us with it.
Marcel and Hugmug, you take 19 points of fire damage
Oh, Lord.
as your successful save. Those who failed take 38 fire damage. Putting Mason, Mocha, and Scoria on the floor.
Oh my god.
The upsetting thing is, I rolled that I rolled that damage 3 times, and it rolled high damage on both of those. And I was like, I'll do it again, just because it doesn't matter now. I'm rolling damage with disadvantage on that one. It's like, oh yeah, high, the same number twice, and then a low number. Fucking. Anyway, that's the end of the Albrich's turn. Scoria, death save. It's a fail. Mason, death save. That is a fail. Oh no. Hugmug.
I don't like everyone dying and I can't heal them.
The first time that you've not been able to do healing.
I don't know what to do.
Alright, how much MP have you got then?
Me?
Both of you even.
I have 4 MP.
I have 6.
Okay.
Can you give it here?
We have the ability to heal everybody and get everybody off the floor.
No. So.
Until you.
I don't think Hugmug can heal.
Hugmug cannot heal.
Okay, well. I've got 3.
I do have a healing potion.
You do?
Yep, I made one.
Made you save our bacon.
That's
okay.
kind of slow.
Fucking lucky I did.
So, Hugmug, what are you doing with your actions?
That's a fantastic question.
How low is this thing? Not very low.
Yeah.
It's resistant to ice, and it's immune to fire. I get a feeling that water will do some serious damage to it.
Yeah, water has done neutral damage. This has been confirmed.
Oh, okay, I did not know that.
Breach Blast was water damage.
Ah, okay.
I only have ice.
I could delay its turn, its action, until after mine.
Yep, so that would delay it and say it would move last on the next round of initiative.
Would that help people?
Yes, I think so.
Does Xavier have any healing?
And I can give you all Mog again.
Does Xavier
That-
have any healing capability?
Yes, he has multiple healing capabilities.
Okay, we're not completely doomed.
But
He has the capacity to heal single target and multi-target with shadow summoning.
So if you want to go for Mog, then go for it.
Okay, yeah, I'll Mog,
I'm about to hit the bit
Mog
with the water
everyone
spell.
again. Sorry?
So, because I'm about to hit this bit for the water spell.
Yeah, alright, I'll Mog you. Everyone's Mogged, and do you want a plus 20 to hit?
Oh,
True Strike is self-targeting.
Read, woman, read.
I think we've said that before.
Don't worry.
Yeah, you probably have.
everyone's
Don't worry.
You probably said it every time I try and cast it.
It's fine. I forget it as well. I forget that Short Strike, one of the spells that I use on Lupus a lot, when I'm, like, using the character, is just sitting there like, yes, I can use this as a buff, and then I'm like, oh shit, self-targeting. I forget every time.
Okay, so I've done Mog, and I'll do delayed opponent, so it acts after me.
does that require me to make a save?
Yes, you must make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save of
I'm
DC
in
what?
critical HP. Just realised this.
Congratulations, I think. I'm pretty sure Hugmug's in critical health as well. Yeah, Hugmug is in critical HP as well.
I
so you
didn't
could
even
limit break.
think about that!
So if you want, before I even go near rolling this, you are welcome to have a look at your limit breaks.
This is so exciting, and I didn't even know it was so exciting.
I'm not saying be irresponsible and do it, but do it if you... Especially at this level, this could be huge for you. If I were to advise one, I would look at Enfeebling Smite. Because Emerald Lock
That's
is not going to do
exactly
anything
what
for you.
I was looking at. Right. Enfeebling Smite, it's happening. Limit break active.
Okay, so... so this will be part of a melee attack. For one round. But... yeah. So the next hammer attack you make... upon a successful hit... yeah, fuck it. It's technically supposed to wait until your next hammer attack, but I will allow you to attack it as part of the limit break. As a once-off, because I am nice like that.
We could just pretend I never casted the Mog again. So
yeah, if you want, I can
you can all just
retroactively remove
minus.
the Mog.
We could just pretend that I didn't recast Mog, and this
Yeah,
is my
you've
two
not
actions.
Yeah, you've not removed your MP yet, so sure.
No, I haven't. So okay, fantastic. Woo! I actually get out the bonky stick.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Florian. Yes, that's the perfect. That's the perfect fucking gift for that. Okay, right. So you're activating Enfeebling Smite. So would you like to make your attack?
Yes.
Roll
So
to
I
bonk.
just rolled to hit.
So your
yeah.
first action will be popping off Enfeebling Smite. So that will apply to the first attack you make on each one of your turns. So you want to roll to hit and whack this bastard? Go for it. Remember, you still have Mog as well, so you can Mog your bonus to hit if you're worried that you're going to miss. And I will help you work out the chaotic.
But then I could also Mog my damage.
But if you miss, then it's all for nothing.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's Mog the hit. Yeah, I'm stressed.
Okay, roll to hit.
So does that mean I rolled
So you'll
with
roll...
advantage?
No, so you roll to hit, and instead of a +7 to hit, you will have a +14 to hit.
Oh, fantastic. Great.
Come on. Roll high, roll high, roll high.
Okay, 29.
That hits. And so, roll your damage. So I'm presuming you're two-handing your warhammer. So
I'm
it's a
dual wielding it, yes.
difference between dual wielding and two-handing, darling.
Oh, I don't
It's
know.
our second Warhammer.
Dual wielding is one thing per hand.
Oh,
Two-handing it.
I pull out a second weapon.
I mean, you have a wooden mace, so in theory you could dual wield.
Just like brings them together.
No.
Around
It's like the fucking frying pan wins. Boom. Okay, so what's your damage?
I smash my hammers together. Sorry.
Oh dear.
1d10 plus 4.
The plot twist. That's how fucking Hugmug learned early on he wanted to use hammers. Was just walking around Helga's house, slamming frying pans together.
It's going bong.
Bong. So, what's the damage you do?
So it was 6, but I feel like, yeah,
D-
6. But
So 6. So it's a 6 total, yeah, in terms of damage.
Yeah, but am I missing something from Enfeebling Smite?
I haven't rolled the save for it yet, but I will
The
do
con
now.
save.
Yep. So roll a non-magical con save, because
Me?
No, I'm rolling it.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
don't worry. I am announcing what I'm doing.
People do.
Oh, okay.
As it rolls a 6 on the dice for a total of 9, meaning it fails,
That doesn't sound very good, my friend.
because the DC it was supposed to hit is 17, as you will notice.
Yes.
So, for the next... How many rounds is this? It's Charisma modifier rounds. So, for the next 4 rounds, it is staggered, fatigued, and confused. Staggered... 3 rounds.
And you have your spell saves reduced
Fatigued,
by
rounds.
3 for
And-
8 rounds.
Hold on. And then confused rounds. Let's read this.
And -3 to spell saves for 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Enfeeble smite. That's -3 spell saves.
How many MP does Enfeebling Smite take?
0. It's an ability.
Oh.
So
Oh, so fancy.
so basically, for the next round, you will have that limit break active. So you're at basically at the start of your next turn, you'll get one more pop off of this, and then the effect will end.
Oh, sick. Or if I get an opportunity attack.
Yeah, all that. However, I will
Yippee,
do
let's
this.
go!
That's remaining uses, because the ability has been activated. Okay, so that is the end of your turn. We go back to the top of the initiative order. Marcel.
Huh.
Before you throw your dice to the floor.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure how I want to go about this, because I don't have a lot of MP left.
That's
But
fine.
might be one of the only times I ever get to use it, so I'm going to use dual spellcasting.
Okay. So you
So,
activate the limit
cast
break,
a healing spell and a damage spell as one action.
which is considered one spell for the purposes of dual cast.
Which I don't have yet.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm basically reading the thing so I can remind myself because it's been a while.
Who looks like they are in the roughest state?
Basically, who's in the most negative state?
Hmm.
Who is hitting the highest negative right now? That will be Mocha at -8 hit points.
Okay.
Oof.
Does everybody fail the death save yet?
I have not rolled
Yeah, I
Mocha's
thought-
death
I
save
thought-
yet, but Mason and Scoria have both failed one. I should roll Mocha's one now because technically part of she will be in that turn order. That is a 2, so yeah, no. All 3 of them have failed a death save.
And we didn't remog.
It would not matter whether they had
No.
Mog or not, as it's a flat D20.
No, I'm asking, we didn't remog.
No,
Marcel
I
does
didn't,
not have
no.
Mog. Florian has Mog.
So I
Xavier
will
has
not
Mog.
be able
And
to kill it.
so Florian and Xavier have Mog, and that's it.
I'm pretty sure I don't. Oh, hang on.
Alright, well...
You do still have Mog. I don't think you've used it for anything yet.
well
It was put
Marcel,
up
I
early in
used
the
it
round.
on the to hit last round.
Oh right, yes. Okay, yes. So it's just Xavier that has
I
Mog
didn't
left then.
remove it from my sheet.
That's fine.
one second.
I'm also making. I've also got like a little thing on my combat notes that I've been using to keep track of things. How the fuck?
Damn, if I hadn't used it, I'd been able to kill this thing. Probably. Am I good to continue?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So that's a 24 to hit with water.
The 20.
24.
24. Sorry. Audio processing moment. Yeah, 24 hits.
And that is 22 water damage.
It takes 22 points of water damage.
44.
Would it make you feel better if I told you that wouldn't have killed it?
It would have almost killed it though.
Yeah, I'm too far.
That would make me feel better.
Okay, so that's your action, is it?
Then I can cast a healing spell as well.
Uh-huh.
Who can I get off the ground? Basically anybody.
Yeah.
You say everyone's failed a death save. It's on the ground.
All of them have failed a death save, yes.
Potential lover or pick your favorite sibling.
Dark.
Well, I've got to make a choice, haven't I?
This is the reality of Marcel's life. At all
Your
times.
siblings, because if they die, and
Your
they weren't
sibling
here,
or
then-
your lover?
Hmm.
Alright,
be so
we'll cast Cure on Scoria.
Okay, how much does that heal?
That will heal. That will heal 23 health.
Do you want to confirm that by... Because your bonuses will
Okay,
not be the same.
23. It will heal 20 health.
Okay. Scoria is off the floor.
That will be the end of my turn.
Okay. The next person to
Wait,
act...
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah, because I still cast it as one action, even though the bonus action takes that little break. Yeah.
Yeah.
End of my turn.
Okay, so that means the next person to act is Florian.
Ha 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 ha. Oh boy. I can get one more person off the floor, hopefully. If I cure 2. Or if I wait, let me look up how.
Do you have any AoE healing?
No. You guys won't have any AoEs because you haven't got access to third level spells yet.
Okay.
Or if you...
1d6 plus 5 is
the
definitely below what Mocha had, so I'll have to cure 2 her.
Yeah.
Cure 2. And I also have that whatever.
Yeah, the
Light speed. Astrology may cast a healing or damage spell as a bonus action, but it has half its normal healing damage. So I will cast Cure 2 on Mocha,
Healing how much?
and then 3d6 plus 5. 3d6. Big roll, big roll, big roll, big roll, big roll. That's quite awful. Oh, it's not that bad. It is quite bad. 4, 8, 9, 14 health.
Okay.
Back to her.
That is 14 hit points, and Mocha is off the floor.
Yay. And my MP is almost on the floor.
I have 1 MP left.
Oh, 2. Who else is down right now? Nathan. If he rolls a 1, he's dead.
Yep. And none
Can
of
I
you have
throw
raise
my health
spells.
potion at him?
That will take an action.
I'll take an action, of course, throwing.
It's alright.
I'll use the cure and the light speed ability.
Okay.
It still uses MP?
Yep.
Just checking.
It still uses
Even though
MP.
it's half.
Yep.
Even though it's half of it.
Even though it's
But
half
if I
rank, it
just-
still uses MP. Because you are still casting a spell.
And it probably won't get him off the floor.
Well, it's worth a try.
It's half of a cure. That's like 4 health. Do I get to know how far down he is?
You can ask, yes.
How far down?
-7. He is in
Yeah,
he is
it's
at
not
-7.
Not possible.
It'd have to be a light speed cure 2 with a good roll.
With a really good roll. And that would be all my MP gone.
You'd have to basically roll the same thing you did beforehand. Hey, I mean, you still get your star glow. if you want elemental damage.
So, can I change the element?
Unfortunately, you cannot, but...
Mm.
Oh yeah, because this thing's ice resistant. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
This is where my brain cells forget what's what, because I only remember some of the...
Can I use the globe as a bonus action?
To attack with it would be an action, but to conjure it is a free action.
And then it can just be there.
Yeah. So you basically just click the little tick box next to a globe of the constellation. That one there.
And then next. Alright, well.
Then it'll be under your natural weapons if you want to find it.
My weapon.
Yeah, be
Current natural weapon.
be in there.
Empty-handed hit. I'll punch this motherfucker to death. Cool.
You just run up to the Albrecht and like just fucking deck it.
I will pray that Mason doesn't die in the next round.
Okay.
And end my turn and conserve my MP.
Save my peril. I think he's dead by now.
Yeah.
Is he going to
Fucking
keep?
19 in the save.
Is this man going to keep his shit together? No, he is not. As you hit Florian, you look up at Xavier, who has a wicked snarl painted across his face. As he points a finger at the Alberich that seems to notice his presence, and you hear him utter out the word, Die, you piece of shit. As he casts Phantasmal Killer.
Oh my.
I didn't know he was freaky like that.
That's vengeance, baby, that you would never use.
I didn't realise that you were chill like that. God damn. So he has a minus... So he's staggered. So that thing has a minus... Okay, it can move or take an action, but can't do both. Fatigued. Does fatigue change any of its saves? Fatigue, this is -2 to strength.
It has
dex.
-3 to spell saves anyway.
Yeah, it has -3 to spell saves, but if it's got any additional negatives, then I'm gonna do it. Because every point counts. Okay.
It won't count if he rolls a nat 20.
Ooh.
Don't fucking tell me it's saved.
Ooh. Did it roll? It rolled a 19, which fails.
Oh, okay.
It fails
Okay.
the first roll,
I couldn't have
Well.
debuffed that shit anymore if I tried.
and it yeah. Phantasmal Killer is 2 rolls, a wisdom save and a con save. It failed both of them. So you watch as the Alberich screams in horror.
Oh.
As you can't see what it's envisioning, but whatever Xavier has forced this thing to witness gives it a heart attack on the spot, and it dies. It dies of fear.
Marcel's immediately going to cast
From the
Cure
creature.
on Mason. With his last MP point.
Okay, roll healing.
Healing him for 17 HP. That's all of Marcel's MP gone. Oh my god, that was scary. He almost just died! Is everybody okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay? I'm gonna check everyone over for any horrible injuries.
I've been better.
So,
Damn fucking thing.
how much did you heal Mason again? Sorry.
17.
17. Okay. So he's off the floor.
Both for being a red mage.
Smiley face. Wouldn't know. So you take a second to process what the fuck just happened. Sorry, I'm just updating something real quick. Okay, there we go. Sorted. Well, fucking hell. Ow. And he looks down at his chest that has a large claw mark across the front of it as Mason sits up.
You okay?
Well, I've certainly been better. And he flops back into the snow. Why?
Oh, we were gonna lose you for a second there.
Oh no, how
All of you.
How awful.
I'm glad everyone's okay.
We should probably set up camp nearby, somewhere a little further away from here. And there is a grimace painted on his face as he is very clearly still in pain.
I have a healer's kit. Maybe I should look over all of you.
I got boots on my arm.
I think we should move away from here first. God forbid that thing was just a scout. And you notice that Xavier's face is almost like scrunched up with rage. An uncharacteristically high amount of emotion is visible on his face right now.
Oh, can I check if the creature had anything on it?
You may. So you go over to the Alberich's corpse,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing you are able to find that is of value on it is its sting. With a high enough medicine check, you may be able to detach its stinger from it and keep it as a potential poison for later use. This will, however, require quite a high medicine check, as you're aware that this thing's sting is quite lethal if you are not careful.
Possible that I might accidentally kill myself if I fuck it up?
It's not unfeasible.
Maybe leave it.
Are you certain?
Could I have someone assist me and then get advantage?
Yeah, you may.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Who are you getting to assist you?
Who's Xavier? Maybe because he's an assassin. Maybe he's practiced with poison and things.
Yeah. So Xavier comes over to help you. He looks a little bit distracted, but he does his best to help focus.
Oh, I have huge. I'm very resistant to poison.
I mean, if you would like to take Xavier's place, Hugmug, you can try and justify it to Florian.
Cool, that sounds good.
Okay,
Oh, that was
there you go.
easy.
So Xavier,
I didn't even open my mouth.
I'm picturing in my head Hugmug comes over to help instead because Xavier is too fueled with rage to be able to focus.
Okay, big number. Ooh, big number. And
Wait, what am I rolling?
You aren't rolling
I rolled
anything.
with advantage. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural
Evil
20.
20. A slutty. No, I'm not doing that again.
A dirty 20. You managed to detach the creature's sting. Roll me a dex save.
No!
As you
That was
detach
so
the cre-
high.
you detach the creature's sting successfully. However, you misjudge how heavy this thing's sting is, and it slips from your hands.
Oh,
Hugmug,
no.
I also need you to roll me a dex save to see if you
Yes.
both manage to shuffle out of the way fast enough. Else,
Non-magical.
it is a non-magical dex save.
Lovely.
Yeah. Non-magical. I have quite good there. We'll see. Against poison. Is it against poison or is it just against avoiding something?
It's just a general dex save.
General Bexley. You won't
16.
believe this.
16, and what's yours, Florian?
Natural one.
Natural
Oh my
1.
god.
A natural one.
Florian gets
Okay.
crushed by the spike and
So,
dies.
Hugmug, you managed to move out the way fast enough. However, Florian is not so lucky. As the sting punctures your paw or your left hand. Please make me a con save against poison.
Yep. Oh, we were always going to end up here.
Not necessarily.
Yes, we were.
This is exactly
No,
what
we always were.
I guess
Always.
I guess the set, like, your guys' luck kind of like started to leak for a second there.
15.
It's a fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the highest you can roll on a con save for poison?
What if I rolled a 20? I have a +2.
Okay, so it's statistically unlikely. So you drop this thing's sting, it drops away from you, fortunately enough, with a significant amount of its venom left within it. You're fortunate enough that you managed to, like, I'm picturing Hugmug leaping forward to pull this thing's sting out of your hand. So you only get half of the amount of venom dosage that you were supposed to receive. Unless
Guys,
unless Hugmug is just going to sit there and watch you suffer, in which case, fair.
Classic.
No,
Hugmug.
but that would be funny.
It would be funny, but we don't want a death yet. Can you roll me 2 more con saves? Just so I can figure out the full effect that the poison has on you.
Can I, while I'm being poisoned, try and use my healer's kit to help myself?
You would not be able to.
I would not be able to. Someone else can.
Nobody else is proficient
Okay.
with a healer's kit.
Tragic. Constitution 6 and 15 again.
6 and 15. Okay. You can feel the Alberich's poison coursing through your veins, corroding away at the very essence of you. Fuck me. You can go to your combat page, and on the temp stat boost for your dexterity, can you please input -10?
Oh.
As the Alberich's
Oh my
poison
God.
corrodes away at your dexterity and your body's ability to coordinate itself.
Ah, Florian.
You feel fragile and weak. Your body trembles in the cold.
Where is my spells? Restore. Sorry, I had a pen in my mouth. Restore. Spell. Am I
Yeah.
still awake enough to cast spells? In which case, my last 2 MP points.
You do
Target
not.
is cured
Wait,
of
do
a
you have
magical
MP
effect, reducing one of their ability
Oh,
scores.
yes.
Or is cured of. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use that.
Yep.
Spending your last 2 MP to do so.
In my last 2 MP to not be poisoned.
And I'll remove that off of your token for you now.
And then I'll remove. It says a magical effect reducing one of their ability scores, or is cured of one. Which one is it? Temporary damage or? Magical effect.
It will be treated as temporary damage to your stat.
Okay, so like 1d4 of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it took my brain a second to remember what I was doing.
Yeah, that's fine. And luckily, I have incredible dexterity, so
Yeah,
Wow.
you are
not
very
well.
lucky.
For my last MP, I get 2 more points of my
Dex back.
dexterity back, so that's -8 now.
Oof.
I have 11 dexterity.
Youch. Okay, so
Gee.
in
He's
your
definitely gonna need carrying now.
yes, so Xavier does not pick you up. It is you are basically propped up between Scoria and Mocha as you all push on for another half an hour or so to get away from the remains of the Alberich. The
No one picks it up.
No, but
No.
you do notice Xavier punt it in the skull, splattering its cranium across the beach.
I died for nothing. No,
What
I'm
the hell were
joking.
you thinking, Flory?
The camp is
I
set up. Sorry.
thought we could keep it and then we could use it against
You shouldn't be
anyone
so
who
reckless.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think I overestimated my ability.
it is okay. Just don't do it again. It will be fine.
And so you settle down. The tent is propped up. And the overall sorry. The overall inside of the tent is now layered with this thick bedding of behemoth hair. As you, in your injured states, and get in the tent, and find that there's almost like little cubby holes for each of you now, with how the tent lining has been designed. So you have little private spaces alone. Sitting inside the tent, the girls, the three of you fellas, the girls have kind of tucked themselves away in their cubby holes just to mentally recuperate after nearly getting torched alive twice. With Mason sitting in the Mason sitting in the central compartment with the three of you. Xavier is sat outside, keeping watch. So, well, that was scary. Are you okay, Florian? You seem a little, worse for wear. The bull man is grimacing quite a bit as he's looking at you.
I wish my intuition told me about the poison instead of the weather.
Yeah, I can kind of see where that backfired a little bit, huh? I guess it would have been more convenient for it to instead of giving us the weather forecast, it should have given us the devil forecast. Unfortunately, this is not a case of hot devils in your area. And he shakes his head.
Are you feeling alright?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I got a new scar across my chest. It's kind of cool, I guess. But a little shaken, you could say. And Mason looks over at Hugmug. Hey, do you think my scar looks cool?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. Well,
Do you
there you go.
think my scar looks cool? He's gonna point at the tiny scratch he has on his arm.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll look real nice after it's done healing. He has a big smile on his face. I suppose we should spend a little while just trying to recover. Let me see if I can find And you realize that you have basically completely exhausted your mana, or your MP, depending on which you prefer to. I mean, it is mana points, so it checks out, but or magic points technically, but
I thought it sounded for moo points.
it's the amount
No,
of
that's just for Mason.
that's just for Mason.
Mason.
Yeah,
Mason's moo points.
Bobby an exclusive class ability.
Like 3 points.
Florian's
Fucking luck
meow
points or whatever. He
points.
just uses moo points.
Just moo.
He
Meow
can moo a
point.
certain amount of times per day to inspire his allies.
Yes.
Amount of mouse.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Oh.
don't you fucking start. So
Now we all just start making animal noises.
and that's the no. So you'll realize you've kind of exhausted your supply of magic for the next few hours easily. So it will take you a while to regenerate your to restore your mana. When the rather disgruntled Xavier re-enters the tent.
Hello. Ow.
Sit back.
Oh. Oh.
The things that I do for you people.
How do I look? Hot, huh?
You look like shit.
It was a joke, because it was fire. Oh.
Okay, settle down. Settle down.
How are you doing?
And you get a rather vicious level of side eye in response to that question. Simmer down. I can. How do I do this again? He takes a moment and uses shadow summoning. I'm presuming none of you are going to attempt to disbelieve the spell he is casting.
No.
I
No.
don't know what it means, so.
Basically, it will
What?
be it would be the equivalent of you saying, "Well, I don't. The spell is not real, therefore you'd reduce the effects that it has on you."
I don't know what the spell's gonna do, so I'll just trust Xavier.
As Xavier uses his shadow summoning to cast Fey Light. Ooh, somebody has their Roll20 notification noise on. Hee hee. Either that, or it just came through my headphones. In which case, that's really funny. Because
I
it should be muted.
don't know.
Anyway, as each of you are healed for 40 hit points.
Holy shit.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's better. Thank you very much. You really saved our butts out there.
I didn't do anything. Oh, nothing that is unexpected anyway. I'm going to go and take watch. You guys get comfortable. Yeah. You guys get cozy. And he opens the tent, closes it back up, and you can see his silhouette against the side of the tent, with the little campfire that's outside flickering quite aggressively in the wind, in the slowly increasing winds.
So that was what a proper fight was like. Never been quite well
Yeah, that
prepared
was
in all my life.
scary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's powerful healing magic.
Yeah.
Puts man to shame. It is strange though. Your future seeing abilities or whatever it is very picky choosy.
Yeah. Very. Maybe they'll get better.
You got the weather forecast rather than, hey, you might die. Hopefully it gets better. Or maybe we'll fight an enemy that's very dependent on the weather. And it will come in handy.
Maybe.
Like it's chucking it down with rain, and we fight some sort of goo monster that dissolves in water.
Florian, would you like to make a religion check for me?
Sure.
God doesn't appreciate us slagging it off. Fine, I'll just take my powers and leave.
17.
17. Okay, give me 2 seconds. As I have to remember. What they are called. Give me a moment, I've got to remember which one it is.
I'm giving you a moment.
You.
All of the moment.
Okay. You feel a warmth upon you. And for a brief moment, your mind flickers. And you hear the gentle voice of a woman in your mind. You shall be visited tonight. I will explain everything. Just be calm. And then the voice fades, like the warm, tender hug of a parent. You feel a level of familiarity with whatever that voice was. And immediately recognize that it is no threat to you, but something that's meant to help. You're welcome to roll an insight check if you don't believe me. Which is perfectly
I can
valid.
certainly try, but I don't have good insight. I'll give it a
Have
go.
good intentions.
Hmm?
So the last visitor we had did not have good intentions.
Yeah, well, you're well.
That is a 4 on the dice, so a 2 total.
That's a success. You are aware that this voice is completely safe, and you actually recognize this from a reoccurring dream that you've had on and off since you were a toddler. As those like dreams where you could fly or do anything, and almost like a voice that sounds very vaguely familiar to you from one of those recurring dreams. Meanwhile, you notice that the shadow of Xavier outside of the tent has vanished.
Did I see him go?
No, neither of you did, but you notice that he is not there anymore.
Oh, that tricky bitch. Because it is Xavier. There's a good chance that the shadow was an illusion and he walked off ages ago.
Maybe.
And Marcel will poke his head outside the tent.
But you notice Xavier is outside of the tent, exuding what seems to be the last of his magic energy to create what seems to be a low wall. Or using some of his magic energy to create what seems to be a low wall or a windbreak around the tent. He has not noticed that you are observing him, but you can see his movements are slow and deliberate.
It looks like he's concentrating on the thing.
Yes.
And that if I was to say anything, I would break his concentration.
Not necessarily.
I will. Monster doesn't know anything about. Monster doesn't have any concentration spells, so. We'll keep quiet.
Okay.
Just acknowledge that he's seeing him, and then pop it back inside the tent. You can thank him later.
And so you pop your head back in, where Hugmug and Florian and Mason are still sitting.
He is outside, making a windbreak for us.
Oh, I would have thought he'd walked off.
No, I thought so too. But
I guess that shows what we know.
yes, it does. Thought maybe he'd want some time to think or whatever, and we'll go for a walk.
I think that's why he's still outside. Don't know about you, but it's absolutely freezing already. Although I
As long as he doesn't stay out there too long.
don't seem too bad.
Did he look like he was suffering from the cold when last I was out there?
You weren't paying attention to that.
He'll poke his head out again.
Okay.
And see how he's doing.
Roll perception.
A 19 on the dice.
Mhm.
Finally. So that is a 26.
You notice there is a thick layer of frost coating his fur, and there is his hands are visibly shaking. The man is very clearly freezing his ass off.
Is it actually snowing right now?
Not yet, but they are harsh, icy winds that are basically ripping through anything that you were wearing prior, like knives. It's like the wind itself is determined to shiv you with the cold. That's a sentence that just came out of my mouth. And you notice it as well as it hits you full force in the face the moment you stick your head out of the tent.
Does it look like if I was to wrap my blanket around me, I'd be a bit more okay? Or would it cut straight through the blanket?
If you're taking one of the behemoth hair blankets, there is a limited supply of, then yes. But your regular blanket you don't think would do much.
Would the behemoth blanket perish in this weather?
It could potentially get damaged. And that's assuming that it doesn't pick up enough wind underneath it to blow away.
Or blow you away.
Or you, yeah.
Whoa.
Like the equivalent of an umbrella whenever the wind picks up even a tiny amount.
You're gonna get Mary Poppins.
You may genuinely get Mary Poppins with how fierce the winds are right now. You'd say if you were to judge the wind force, it's strong winds.
I'm gonna say bring out one of the blankets and then sort of wrap it around him like a something like a toga or something like that. Just to provide a bit of relief.
Yeah. You can choose to do that if you want.
You'll attempt to.
So as you
But keeping it scrunched up until actually reaching things so it doesn't blow away immediately.
open the tent with it wrapped around you, and immediately it's like a windsock. As the cold winds pick up, rip through, you can see Xavier's entire frame shiver, and your blanket gets windsocked, and you get knocked backwards
Into the tent.
into the tent.
Okay. Well, I tried to help. So I just have to hope you'll be alright. And Marcel will go back inside the tent and then just very periodically, like almost every 5 minutes or so, poke his head out the tent and see how he's doing.
So yeah, after a short period, you notice that you can hear the howling of the wind against the tent. You notice after a little while that seems to dip. And it gets very quiet. Florian and Hugmug, are you going to sleep by this point, or are you waiting for Xavier to return to the tent as well, in case you are required?
Florian will probably sleep.
Okay, so Florian has gone
Yeah.
Are you
I'd probably
Hugmug?
sleep.
Okay.
Has his condition deteriorated at all? Because he's literally checking every few minutes at this point.
You do notice that there is a visible deterioration in Xavier's state as Mason ends up falling asleep in the middle of the tent. But both the girls and Florian, and then both boys that are excluding Mason from that for a
The
moment.
girls and the furries.
The girls, Florian and Hugmug, have all gotten into into the little cubby holes that have been designed in this inner lining of the behemoth hair the behemoth hair tent lining. They've crawled into those little cubby holes.
He's still not come in and they're fallen asleep.
Yes. So you are the only one awake, as Mason has also fallen asleep entirely, as he was sitting up waiting with you, but he has kind of nodded off as the stress of the day and the injuries that he sustained are enough that they have tired him out quite a bit.
Marcel is going to go out and try and use elemental orb fire because it does not cost MP to warm the man up a tiny bit.
You notice as you go to open the tent, the force of the wind seems to have died down. And so as you open the tent, you realize that Xavier is midway through casting the final spell that he has been dealing with. And so you look around and you notice these 5 foot thick, 5 foot high, 30 foot long, earthen, packed dirt walls that are surrounding the tent and making essentially making multiple windbreaks from different directions, and almost forming an almost perfect circle around the tent. So it's like we'll say like a 10-foot circle around the tent, and then redirecting with the rest of it, because you'd need more than 40 foot worth of wall just to surround the whole thing. But yeah, so you notice that spell being cast. Do you want to roll me an Arcana check, actually? Because I reckon this would be something you could.
19.
You realize the man is casting the Alter Winds spell, a spell that Helga used to use on occasion to basically reduce the strength of the wind. And so instead of it being now a strong, vicious wind that is pelting the tent, or what sticks above that 5 foot high packed earth wall, is more of a moderate wind. And it's less vicious in nature.
Okay.
And he is visibly shivering, caked in frost.
Yes, Marcel will go outside.
Oh, hello. Are you okay?
Oh my god, you're freezing! Here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Okay, I will come back into the tent now. Oh, God. Fucking cold. As he brushes the frost off of his fur, and then climbs back into the tent, where it is notably warm.
Marcel will be gradually warming him.
Mhm.
Piling blankets on top of him and using elemental orb fire with a little bit of a distance.
It will be alright. Stop fussing over me. Ooh.
You're not freeze to death out there!
I won't freeze to death. It would be too convenient, too easy for you to get rid of me. And you are met with a very cheesy smile. He has not yet mastered the tone of it, but he is very clearly attempting to use sarcasm.
For God's sake, look after yourself.
I'm doing that. I'm looking after myself by looking after you guys. Easy enough. There is no worries about it.
He's still using elemental orb.
And also be careful with that, you might set the behemoth there on fire. Not going to sit there and find out that Hugmug decided to weaponize his charisma just for you to set it on fire.
I am nowhere near it.
And he waves his hand to the entire tent that's surrounding you, that is basically covered in that thick behemoth hair. Are you sure about that?
Are behemoths known for being highly flammable?
I don't think so, but I don't exactly think that it retains its flammability immunity well after it has been shaved off. So if I had to guess, probably still quite flammable.
Okay.
So
He just puts the elemental orb away. Just sits cross-legged on the floor.
I'm going to just take a moment. And he kind of just like lays on the floor for a minute. You listen to the quiet winds that have softened somewhat. I cannot. Anyway, tomorrow will be another day.
Yeah.
And that is where I'm going to end session. So see you in the next session. Hee hee, smiley face. Bye bye.
Bye.